I am Jake for Ashley Jake, and as you can see next to me, I have this huge stack of VHS. Anybody who's a big fan of my show knows that I'm a huge fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd, who's played by James Ralph. And Cinemassacre, they have some other series that is James Ralph and Mike Matai playing games, discussing things. And what's pretty cool is on the other side of his set, he showed us that he has basically like a VHS rental shop, like in his basement. Like, it looks like a room that if you go into it, it looks like the old school rental store. And to me, there was that just really rang a bell. Because for me, I used to do that. I used to go to the rental store. Like, I had divorced parents, so something that me and my dad used to do was go down to the video store and just kind of troll and try to find your, that weekend. One, you had your weekend rental, and you had your weekend movies, which was usually like 5 or 6, like a big old haul just for the weekend. And I just, when I saw that he had that, I used to work at Goodwill. People get rid of these things all the time, so I put the call out for VHSs, and look what came. Just every VHS you could ever want, and there's still more coming in per the request. So what was really cool is, check this out. I think some of these, well, I know some of them actually came from a video store. Check this out. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still got like the stickers and stuff like that. So it's a really great idea. You know what I really love about like Metal Jesus Rocks, LGR, Angry Video Game Nerd, and all those guys is that it's stuff that I grew up with. It's not just something that like I came across the channel and was like, oh, that's semi-interesting. I came across a channel and was like, I grew up with that exact same stuff. I love it. And I had to do this. And what I want to do with this collection is, since it's Friday, right, let's do what we used to do, is go to the VHS stores, and you always used to have your guy that gave the recommendations for the weekend, and that's what I wanted to do. Throughout this week, I have watched 5 movies, and I want to recommend them to you. What I watched this week, right, here's a little stack of VHS. And obviously, you might not have any VHSs in your house, but between Amazon and between Netflix, you're going to be able to find every single one of these titles. The first one that I recommend for the weekend is The Postman. Now, I know that people hate on this movie. People hate, just like they do with Waterworld, that it was too long, that it was boring. But what I love about it is this is post-apocalypse without zombies. This is post-apocalypse where they say you don't need a monster. You people are monsters. And kind of the main villain, he's kind of that basic, hold on one second. He's kind of that basic bad guy where, there's racism, and they're the ones that have kind of taken on all the freedom of America and all that stuff. Yeah, excuse me, I just got back from swimming, so I'm sweating a bit. But this is an epic tale. If you like a game like Fallout 3, right, where you're going through a post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C., then you're going to like this, because that's kind of a slow-paced game. It's a lot of traveling, and this isn't afraid to not have a lot of action, to not, it's just really not the same kind of movie. I really like The Postman. I like how it's slow, I like how it's relaxed, and I like how there isn't, it's got a love story. The bad guy is he's just a bad guy, and I love it. So this is my recommendation for the first one, is The Postman. Second one, Apollo 13. This is a really good movie, and I really enjoyed Tom Hanks in it. I really liked, you really get the feeling that you're in the capsule with him, that you're up there in space. The dialogue, everything, it's really great. I'm a huge fan of Ed Harris. Ed Harris is in this one. Great cast. awesome movie, Apollo 13. Check that out. And then I know it's not Christmas. But The Santa Claus. I saw it in my collection, and this was one of those movies that the greatest thing about having that is you sit there and you look and you're like, what movie jumps out that says watch me? And it was this one. I haven't seen it since I saw it way back when on DVD when it first came out. And now that I watched it a second time, very awesome. I enjoyed it. It's very silly. It's very funny. Tim Allen's awesome. It feels a little bit like a family picture, but at the same time you don't care because you're having a great time with the film. So I definitely recommend The Santa Claus for this weekend. How many we got? I got 2 more. Check it out. The Terminator Collection. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, mostly Terminator 2. For me, the first Terminator is kind of like the Aliens movie. I love the second Aliens. The first Alien movie with the one alien, the kind of isolation, even Alien Isolation, the video game that wanted to capture that kind of isolating fear of the first movie, just didn't, I don't like it. I like a lot of aliens, I like the colonial marines, I like gunplay, I like all of that stuff. So for me, Alien 1 is just kind of too slow, and that's how I kind of see Terminator, the first one. It's a great movie, the dialogue's good, the story's good, but when it comes to the sequel, Terminator 2, that's where it's at for me. And that's what's so great about when you find these box series, even if it's just a double DVD, is you get to watch the first boring one, and the whole time you're like, got a bored, but you know you've got a badass sequel coming up right after it. So that, totally check this out. And then, do I need to say anything? Do I need to say why you need to watch Batman? I recommend this. You won't hear these recommendations again. I'll go through and get a whole new list for next week, but these are the ones that I wanted to kind of recommend. It gives me a reason to go through my VHS and gives me something to do for the videos. I also didn't want to just do my movie suggestion. I've got this. My game selection for the weekend. It is for the original Xbox. It's the Midway Arcade Treasures. And what I love about this game is it is literally some of the best racing games that came out. Like race driving, that old school. It's like the first virtual driving game that's actually a little bit difficult. Badlands, Hydro Thunder, Rush, Rush Alcatraz. What else do we have? Stun Runner. Stun Runner's pretty cool. And the best thing about this is if you have the Xbox One steering wheel, this thing works.
Xbox One.
Look at that. Not the Xbox One, but the first Xbox. This is for the original Xbox. And this is the Pelican, I believe it's some kind of double T, the Cobra double T. This thing's really cool. It's just a spring. The other ones that I have, the one for the GameCube has force feedback. The one for the 360 has force feedback. This is not force feedback, obviously. You can see. But what I love about it is the more that you turn, right here, the spring's really, really loose. But as soon as you go to hit like a hard turn, that's when that spring really pushes back. And it feels good. It feels good for the racing games, especially Rush. I loved Rush. There was a pizza place that I always went to when I was a kid that had Rush, and that was always, you put that 50 cents in. What I loved about it is you always had that chance to get first place. And that's pretty cool when you get another game too. You always got another game after you got first place. And I believe, oh, one last thing. This stuff was donated to the show, which is very, very cool. I put that call out there to friends on Facebook and friends of the subscribers of the show, and they come through, and more than that, I got this. This was donated. My girlfriend went, she was picking up boxes of the VHS, and she saw this plant and said, the lady says she couldn't take it with her, that it's from Hawaii, and that I had always wanted to have a plant in the house. And we did. We got this very, very cool tree. What's it called?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, it's a very cool name, but it's a Hawaiian plant. And I really, really thank you for that. Do you remember her name?
Justine.
Justine.
I wasn't picking up VHSs. She was getting rid of stuff because she's moving.
Get rid of stuff because she's moving. So thank you so much, Justine, for this plant. I'm going to take super care of it. Get sun every day. I've been misting it, talking to it, playing games with it. I love it. One last thing, all right? You have to do what LGR, Lazy Game Reviewer. This guy is awesome. And I actually worked at Goodwill. I mentioned that. I worked at Goodwill for a long time, and it wasn't until I'm watching Lazy Game Reviewer going to Goodwill's for retro deals that I realized that is an awesome place to go to find some retro games and PC gear. I worked there, and I wasn't in the electronics section, so I just never saw it come flowing through. And I was just like, it must be the area that he goes shopping in that has all that badass older gear. But no, check it out. I've got my own little thrift. We bought some pretty cool stuff. Just 3 things here real quick. Check it out. Boom. These guys have no idea how awesome retro stuff is because this was $2.99. It's an EA Sports, Bulls versus the Blazers in the NBA playoffs. I'm not even sure. Yeah, limited edition. I don't know anything about this game except that it's Sega and it's got one of these, the yellow tab. So we got this, found that at no manual. But we will find a manual. And then we found this at Goodwill too. This was a green tag, so it was half off. It's just a game holder for Nintendo DS games. And finally, Guitar Hero 3 for the Wii. I don't have a Guitar Hero guitar for the Wii, but I do have a Wii, so.
That was only $2.
Yeah, it was $2, so. That's what I love about these channels that I watch. The stuff that they suggest, when they say that it's fun, 90% of the time when I put it in my Xbox, my Genesis, or any of my consoles, I have a great time. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Friday movie picks and a game suggestion. I'm going to do this every week because I like it. It gives me a reason to go through the movies. Like I said, you don't have to hunt down the VHS. If you have Netflix, even YouTube for like $1.99 you can watch any movie that they have downloaded there. So I'm sure with the selection that I showed you, you can find those and put a comment in the section about those movies. I'll be sure to have a discussion with you. This is my channel, Ashley Jake, and I'm Jake, and I really want you guys to have a great weekend and a great day.